Will come to order. I'd like to thank everybody for attending tonight. With us tonight, we have 4 supervisors. Bob Weber is running late, but he's going to show up. Township Solicitor, Township Manager, Director of Planning and Zoning, the Fire Department, and the Township Engineer are in attendance tonight. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Township Board of Supervisors allocates up to 3 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the Board of Supervisors on agenda items only. But before we do that, we had 2 meetings prior to this meeting. On August 7th, 3 supervisors held an emergency meeting for the appointment of an interim fire chief. And that was on August 7th. And then August 25th, just a little while ago, we had an executive session concerning personnel matters and financials and stuff like that. So I wanted to announce those. Is there anybody on the list?
Yep. For agenda items only? Yes. I've got 3. First up, Diana Ecker.
Diane Ecker, Terra Drive. I wanted to say that I'm happy that we are adding the fossil fuel ordinance to our township protections tonight. But since it contains no language about carbon capture, I'm asking that we also draft an additional carbon capture ordinance that prohibits this practice or at the very least strongly governs it. And truthfully, I think I'm just spent that we cannot simply say that we don't wish to have anything in our township that harms our land, that harms our water, our wildlife, our stock animals, or any of the residents here, or anything that compromises us or our quality of life in any way. We should be able to prohibit the poisoning of this township because it's our home. So what I believe we need to do is find a use for this land that is an asset to the region, that provides jobs, that gives back to the community in a positive way. We need to hold CNX to their word that they wish to make South Strabane Township better. And there are many possibilities, but none of them include a data center. So let's put our heads together and let's go forward in a good direction. Thank you.
Mr. Rowan,
Yes.
what we have in Union Township, we have an injection well ordinance, which is a form of carbon capture. So if the board wants, we've already gone through this process with Union Township, which is the first, I think, in the area, first in the state. So if you want, I can provide something to you for review at the next meeting.
If you would, please.
I will, Judge.
Thank you.
All right. Eric Beiswinger.
In regards to, we're developing 1200 Washington Road. I know it's on the agenda later today, but I wanted to see about necessary steps on fighting a traffic fee assessment that we need to get a building permit.
Mr. Rowan, what? I saw about buying a traffic impact fee.
Yeah. So currently the fee's roughly $33,000. We have some data that can rebuke that. We wanted to see about the best way to go against and get it reevaluated.
Where's 1200 Washington Road, by the way?
Yes. Howard Dawn Saxon's office.
Right down the street.
Oh, by on Saxon.
intersection of Davis School and 19 right-hand side. They've been cleaning up that office space. They're taking trees down
Yeah,
now right behind the old vet, that place.
That place.
It used to be a veterinary. I don't know what it is.
I think what you,
They're working down there now.
I would recommend you may want to send correspondence to the township, a copy of the township engineer
Okay.
and my office about what your concerns are.
Okay.
And that would be to start the process. We're not going to say we're going to, I don't believe the township's going to grant it right away, but I think we'd have to review the request. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Jim Cairns.
Good evening, Jim Cairns, Morgan Drive from Bradford Run. I just wanted to get an update on where things stand with the developer. I'm sure a lot of this information will come in the various township reports that are coming up in a little bit here. But I did want to let everyone know that it is still on the sheriff's sale posting for the September 4th sheriff's sale. And that includes the right-of-way parcels for John Street, Morgan Drive, and Stevens Court. Of course, John Street has been fully adopted by South Street Main Township, so that's kind of a concerning matter there. Stevens Court and Morgan Drive have not yet been turned over to South Street Main because the construction has been stalled since at least 5-6 years now. I think right around the time of the July meeting, they were supposed to be having a meeting with you guys that they ended up canceling and then rescheduling and I think canceling again. So just looking to get some updates on where that is and where things stand and what the next steps are to enforce that developers agreement that you guys have in place with them.
If I may respond to Mr. Rowan?
Yes, sir.
I did speak to both legal counsel for the lending institution and also spoke to the counsel for the developer, Mr. Barrett, which you and I spoke to a few minutes ago.
Right.
So I have had discussions with them. We are in the process. We've already drafted the initial lawsuit to
Complaint,
enforce
yeah.
the thing. So that's already in the process. I do want to thank the township manager because he submitted to my office today the executed a great developers agreements for, I think, phase 2 and phase 3 today,
Yes.
which we needed, which you found, which is great. I know someone in my office has been in touch with the township manager, so we are proceeding in this matter.
Okay.
Okay?
And I just know that, just the time sensitivity of September 4th, if there's any rights to preserve there from the township side of things.
Well, we plan to file something before then.
So, excellent. So I look forward to the remaining reports. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judy Panassi.
Judy Panassi, Green Crescent Drive. I'm looking at unfinished business and Bradford Run, Burkett Manor, Meadows Landing. Unfortunately, I have probably been at every single meeting where these developers have come, said what they're going to do, and then not follow through. There needs to start to be some sort of ramification when this happens. Meadows Landing, when they originally were going to build that, it was supposed to be commercial, and Tanger had just come in and they said, oh yeah, blah, 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 and we're not going to do this. And then they ended up not following through. Now we've been dealing with over a decade, probably, of them saying they're going to be residential, and we even changed spot zone for them. I'm going to go back to the sewage board that we got rid of before 3 of you were on there. I'm going to highly suggest we start that again, because I believe that that was gotten rid of so that a lot of these developers could get away with doing whatever they wanted, because Burkett Manor and Meadows Landing were both involved in what was it, almost, Jeff, do you remember how much the project was over on Manifold Road? It
Probably, Russ, 900,000. It was up there, yeah.
So out of that money, how much of that has the township paid for and not been reimbursed for? We've been paying for that, our taxpayer money. And I think if Meadows Landing comes, that we need to make sure, and I'm going to say this every meeting until I know it's been done, that they're paying a newer fee to reflect the money that we had to put out because they were supposed to be here how many years ago? I remember Burkett Manor, they didn't do their sewage right. How many things are these people going to get away with? We nickel and dime the taxpayers, their grass is an inch too high, this isn't right. But we let these big developers come in and absolutely destroy our township, get away with everything, and cost us millions of dollars in the end. And I just think something needs to be done and stop giving into them. And we don't need them to come. If they don't come, we will be okay. We were better with less development. We had some of the lowest taxes in the area when we didn't have all this. For some reason, and remember, and I'm going to say this a million times, we are the keystone of Western Pennsylvania. Everything goes through us. They know that. We don't need to give in. We need to make sure we're doing the right thing. With that said, I also see that we have something to amend another contract. Again, coming to these meetings, when we hire people and they have contracts, I don't care who it is, and nothing against who's on here. I think they're a wonderful person. But when you sign up for a job, you sign up, you do it, and that's what it is. If you want to change things, wait till your contract's up. But this township extends, amends, everything. Stick by what you're supposed to do. If the grass is greener on the other side, then go there. But stop dipping into our pockets and taking our money to appease these people. Look at what it's cost us so far. And just in case for some reason I have to leave tonight, sorry, I just wanted to say that regarding like kids in the community, and I'd ask that you guys start to look. I know that you're looking into the thing with the bikes and all that, but. And George, you and I've talked about this. Our current ordinance for selling pot allows it to be sold in a C2. I fought when they did that, and I think it should be in the C3. I talked to North Strabane, and that's what they did. They put it at the corner of their township. That's a C2 right there. That's the school. Pot, school. We've seen what that van looks like. If they ever legalize it, or even if they move something down here. Same with skill games. Those are targeting children. We still don't know what's going to happen with that. I know that other townships are working on ordinances. We've got everything right here by the school that could affect these kids. One municipality is working on vape stores and where they can go in the municipalities. So maybe we start doing that, and anything that could affect a child in this community, we put it in the C3, which is away from all of the houses, all the kids, and all the schools, and look at it like that. I mean, we've got to protect the kids. And that's something that I just was thinking about the other day, and I wanted to say at this meeting, because I think we need to do that before anything happens and it's too late. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Cynthia Rossi just came in. She asked to speak. Okay.
Data center ordinance,
Fossil fuel.
the fossil fuel.
No, we don't have any hearing.
It's on the agenda, so you can go now. Yep.
Thank you. Having reviewed the revised draft ordinance of August 13, 2026, pertaining to the use of fossil fuel electric generating facilities, I submit these comments and request they be incorporated into the record for this ordinance. And I also request that the comments submitted at the public hearing of July 28th, 2026 be incorporated along with the following. I was very concerned. I read the new draft word by word, line by line, comparing it to the old version, the first version. And I am very concerned that so much has been omitted, removed, and I would like to address that. The revised draft ordinance omits a surprising number of items and words from the first draft, rather than incorporate most comments provided for the first draft of this ordinance. And I have compared both ordinances word by word, line by line, and find the second draft even weaker than the first. It continues to allow a substantial portion of South Strabane to allow the nightmare of data centers to be fueled by the nightmare of fossil fuels, and with all of the attendant health and safety risks. The health and safety risks with fossil fuel generated plants is known. It's not something we might guess at. The inclusion of I-1 zones must be changed. The I-1 area behind and adjacent to Community Park is an example of inappropriate placement. You remember when Snuffy Development wanted to develop, what, 400 homes up there? And they said, oh, it backs right up to the park. We could have our own entrance to the park. That is that land, and that is an I-1. The document also continues to offer no protection to livestock, yet livestock in many instances are raised to be incorporated into the human food chain. The health impacts on beef cattle, for instance, have not been considered. And that is the number one livestock in our community that is raised and sent into the human food chain. Important words in the first draft, section 4, ecological restoration and environmental remediation is omitted. In section H2, requirements for regular water testing every 6 months has been eliminated, as has the requirement for the submission of a detailed correction plan along with weekly testing updates. In section 5F, water rehabilitation that is to begin immediately upon discovery of any contamination and the cessation of the causal activity has been removed. In section I, the requirement for the facility that the facility stay current with the most advanced technology to reduce any environmental contamination has been removed. In section 6G, the required setback of not less than 1,500 feet from public roads has been removed. 2 sections of project abandonment, F, letter D, and C, and E rather, have been removed. The entire section G, transfer of ownership, has been removed. Section 14, enforcement and penalties, has been removed. Section 15, compliance with township code, has been removed. And section 16, violations, have been removed. I find these removals very, very troubling, very concerning. And if I were in the industry, I'd be thrilled right now, but I'm a resident and I'm not thrilled. Thank you.
That was it, Mr. Chairman. No.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Is there anybody on Zoom that wants to be heard?
Yes, this is Mombi Mundia How. Can you hear me?
Moby's from East Washington.
Yes. Yes, I'm from East Washington. My address is 375 North Wade Avenue. However, you share the same airshed, and I wanted to talk about your fossil fuel ordinance. I just had a couple comments on it. Just to piggyback what Cynthia says, there are some enforcement sections of your ordinance that was taken out. The June draft has 4 sections of real enforcement. You have the $500 a day violation, attorney fees, a path through the magisterial district judge, and that ends. But in August version, it ends at the severability. There's no penalty section anymore, and the 1,500-foot minimum setback was taken out, and the 30-day notice if there's any ownership or decommissioning was taken out, and I feel that maybe the board needs to explain why they removed the teeth from their ordinances, because it's not a regulation anymore. It's more like a suggestion. And I'd, ask the board to reconsider and restore some of these things they took out from their much stronger June version. And I just want to talk a little bit about air quality, because that's where my concern comes from, because we share the same air between, East Washington and South Strabane. And in the current draft, you have a sentence that says emissions shall adhere to applicable state and federal emission standards. I think that is too vague to act on. Specifically requiring, compliance with a specific act, like the Clean Air Act, is a much stronger way to write this. And there is no ambiguity, because if you have ambiguity, that is where the where the operators can come in and challenge some of these ordinances that you have. But also, if you point to federal standards, a lot of federal standards are being rolled back. And I feel that the ordinance should point to certain processes, certain tests, versus just giving this to what the government is, because it depends on what the administration is doing and what their stand is, and that changes with every new administration. So it'll be good to write an ordinance that is more neutral, that can withstand changes of administration and views. I'm hoping, there are lots of people in the township that can help the township in improving this. There's lots of good input, and I hope the township can take advantage of this, save some money. Maybe, the solicitor might need some help with subject matter experts. There are subject matter experts in this township that can help without charge to help build a stronger ordinance. I hope that they can take advantage of that. Or if the solicitor is stretched thin, I feel that this ordinance really went backwards.
Time?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay, ma'am, your
Yes.
time, the 3 minutes is up. Thank you.
But, yeah, we got you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Anybody else online? Okay, thank you. Item number 4, the meeting minutes. The motion to approve the Board of Supervisors regular meeting for July 28, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Financial business. Motion to approve the payrolls from periods of July 19, 2026 through August 1st, 2026, and August 2nd, 2026 through August 15th, 2026, and bills for the period of July 25th, 2026 through August 21st, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yes, discussion.
Zach?
So, so one of the things I noticed is missing off the financial report is the monthly bill for R&D Waters, which is the Porta John rental. There's no bill whatsoever for the 3 parks. So I don't know if the bill was submitted to us or if there was something we missed on our end. And then the other thing I wanted to discuss is the current hoppers at the parks are being misused by residents or people outside the township. They're just dumping their grills, TVs, whatever they don't want anymore, they're dumping in there, and we're getting additional charges for. So we will probably be doing away with that going forward. So there'll be some changes because we just can't keep having that happen, and we're just eating additional costs. So that's all.
Thanks. Anybody else have further discussion?
I agree with Zach on the dumpsters. They
So-
put lock bars on them, and all you need is a shovel, and it pops. The plastic lid right over top of the lock bar. I had that problem when I was still working. Driscoll was the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you guys have the problem with the dumpsters. Can't we have, like, there's cameras everywhere. So why can't you just call people that are abusing it? There's cameras, like, we have cameras everywhere.
Well, we had that argument when we had the dumpster down at the old Public Works, right? So for the cardboard, and basically the gist of that came out, it's not worth enforcing. By the time you go through court and everything, it's not worth the time, the effort. So it takes a couple people to ruin a good thing. I don't want it anymore.
So you don't put the camera down sometimes.
Right.
Nobody pays attention,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So, yeah,
You guys
it's,
always back up, letting them abuse you. So
Right.
nobody cares.
well, yeah, correct. So now we're not, that's what I'm trying to say is that's not going to happen
That's
anymore.
not gonna happen. Okay.
That's why we have ring doorbells. That's why we have ring systems.
Yep.
Right? So call the people out that are abusing the system and make them pay up.
I wish we could. I wish we could.
No, it's not a wish, you can.
No?
Okay, this isn't a conversation.
All
Thanks.
right, so what's
Thank
up?
you.
So financial business, we need to vote on it.
Yep. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Announcements and recognitions. At this time, I would like to say that on August 6th and 7th, I attended a board chairman retreat, and there was a lot of good information that I received at that retreat. Most of it was put on by attorneys and the state police, and they had things to show and to tell you, and things that you should be checking, like risk assessment of the township assets, which would be your computer system, your buildings, your property around, whether you're properly, do you have cameras? Do you have security in place? Do the employees inside the building feel safe? And so it showed a whole different light of things that you should be looking at as a chairman. And I took a lot away from that. I shared some of it with our solicitor, and he found it very interesting also. So I want to thank the board for letting me have the opportunity to go to that. Township reports and presentations. Municipal separate stormwater MS4. The Board of Supervisors allocates a period of time for this item for comments regarding the topic of stormwater. Each person addressing the Board of Supervisors is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Is there anybody that wants to speak on MS4 items? Anybody online? No? Okay. Township Managers Report. Mr. Stavinsky?
I'm going to keep the kind of short this month. I did want to bring up, because I had a couple questions and I saw on Facebook, the question on Locust Avenue. There was a really good article in the Observer Reporter, and that is the latest update we have. They're looking at fall for opening the road. We have no other updates. I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood that it's not a township project. It is a PennDOT project. It is a PennDOT road, and PennDOT is completing the project. So it's not a South Strabane. So it's not something South Strabane's doing, or we're keeping the road closed, or we're doing the work over there. So I did stop by there. They are presently working on it. They've been moving some dirt above, be over the hill down by where the golf course is. But primarily, they've been working on the road. So they've been down there. And like I said, there was a good article in the Observer. If you get a chance to go back and take a look at that, please do. They have a little bit, I believe, more concrete, we'll call it, timelines, but I don't know if we'll be able to hold them to that. I also want to announce, and I don't want to take anything away. I saw that we do have a member of the fire department speaking at the end. I'm going to just mention a couple of things. One, I wanted to talk about the controlled burn, I believe on September 12th. Chief Brown, did you want to say anything about that real quick before I move on, or?
I could talk about that more with like motion page.
Okay. Okay. I also wanted to mention, and again, Mr. Geiser, I don't want to step on your thunder, but I do want to mention that there is a Battle of the Badges charity softball game on this Sunday, August 30th at 1 p.m. at the community park. It's proceeds benefit Michael Strong. I'll let Mr. Geiser talk a little bit more about that. There's going to be food trucks. They do Chinese auction. It's a big fundraiser. If you get a chance to come out and support them in this fundraiser, I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it. Lastly, I wanted to mention something that we mentioned at the last board meeting. the regroup. It's the countywide emergency management notification system. I was talking to Chairman Rowan, and there's only about 2,000 people signed up for it out of
2,200.
about 200,000 people in the county. So I encourage the residents. We do have on our website, we do have this up on the website. You can scan the QR code. There's also a link if you don't use the scan item. We have both at the township building, both front and back doors. We have these up, and we also have some flyers up at the front desk. If you stop in, you can grab these. Feel free. It's a good idea. I know the other day we've got multiple warnings. I know it came to my phone about the potential for flash flooding. So it's a good system. We encourage everybody to sign up for it to keep notification. Also, at the last meeting, I know Chief Kramer had spoke again. We went off the code red to this system that we're working with the Public Safety Department in Washington County. So I just wanted to make sure we got that out there to the residents. Did you have anything to add to that, Mr. Chairman? I didn't want to.
No, sir.
Okay.
That's good.
Thank you. Everything else I'm going to defer to the engineer report. So.
Okay, thank you. Township Solicitors Report?
The office, the office has been involved numerous times for the township, but I will look at this ordinance. I know I did go over it before with the office. I do want to suggest we table it so I take a look at it to the September meeting, but I know I did make some changes, but I don't want to go make so many changes that are so draconian that then I have to go back and have a public hearing. But I have to see what happened, but I suggest we just table today's meeting.
Thank you, sir. Township Engineers Report, Mr. Stevens.
All right, thank you, Mr. Roan. A couple things to go over here with everybody. First, Burkett Manor, Phase 1 is almost fully built out at this point. There are still a few sidewalks that we're inspecting on an as-needed basis. They call us and we go down and do those inspections with their crews. So that process has been working out pretty well. We do still have that open-ended question with PennDOT about the need for the HOP. I talked about that at our last meeting, and I sent another message to PennDOT about that. Hopefully we can schedule a meeting with them and answer that question once and for all. But if you guys remember 2 months ago or so, they told us there was no need for an HOP, and then a different representative from PennDOT told us, yes, there is a need for an HOP. So we really need to get that buttoned up before we get to the deed of dedication point in the game here where they're looking to offer those roads to the township and it becomes our problem. So I'll let you know when something's scheduled for that. But
So if there's a need for an HOP, that means there has to be an application.
right.
So that would mean the township would have to be the applicant.
Yes.
And there would have to be an agreement between the township and the owner, the developer.
Correct.
We'd have to have, and the cost would have to be borne by the developer.
Yes.
So just so Burkett understands the process, what if we have to go that way, we're not going to do anything until we get the money in hand.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have what's happened to me somewhere else where we, like in Union Township.
I'm familiar with that. Yep. So that's where we stand with Burkett Manor. They did get their reapproval for Phase 2. So that will be coming up shortly, but that's probably later this year or early next year at this point when they start that. They still need a permit for that item.
I have one question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
As soon as you turn in,
Yeah.
the left-hand side, the sidewalk, take a look at that. The camera looks awful steep. A little bit of ice, you're not gonna be able to walk on that.
Okay.
Or it might just be me. I might be losing my eye, but
No, you're not.
it's pretty bad.
On the, you mean in
As
line
soon as
with
you
the road?
pull- No, the sidewalk should be level.
Yeah.
It's leaning.
It's
Pretty
okay.
bad.
It's bad.
So
Right at the intersection.
as soon as you turn in,
Okay.
left-hand side,
Okay.
when you get better, look pulling to the Dairy Queen. Just sit there and you can see.
Okay.
It's gonna be a slip hazard. I can't see how it's not gonna be.
Okay.
That's just something I want to look at.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
Because it's not gonna be ours. I'm not taking over the sidewalks. That's gonna be homeowners. But still, we want to give them something
Sure.
that's presentable.
Well, and it has to meet the
It looks
federal
bad.
standard.
And the HOA doesn't need to get sued for any problems over that.
Right. It just looks really bad.
My turn.
Sure.
How's the coal mining coming at Burkett Manor?
I don't believe they've started yet.
Are they still going to?
I believe so. They're pursuing the permit they need from the state for that.
All right.
They need to gain that permit first and then they'll start that second phase. That's my understanding.
Has there been any deed of dedication for any of the roads at Bradford Run?
I'm not sure about phase 2 or phase 3. I think the only phase that would have been that first phase, which is the townhouses, the next street down.
There was a deed of dedication.
I don't know if there was or not, but that,
I believe
Mr.
John
Montgomery
Street-
told me that
You believe there was?
I
that
believe
is a
John
township
Street
road at this
was,
point.
because we made them repave it because it was horrible.
Okay, so
That was quite a while ago, but I think, well, we took it over.
The public works director and I looked at that probably 3 or 4 months ago, and he told me at that point that it was a township road. So
okay.
that process would have happened before I was here, so I can't answer
And
that.
I'm
for
going
sure.
to ask you, and I'm going to ask our township manager, would you please add Farley onto our unfinished business? I know it doesn't have the ranking time-wise of these other 3 items, but, you know, we've been working on that for a couple of years now. Is there any update on Farley?
Yes, there is. I have scheduled a meeting with Mr. Stefanski and PennDOT on Friday at 1 o'clock to go over their latest comment letter that they sent to the previous township engineer. And once the new manager and myself are familiar with where we're going with that, we'll be able to move that project forward. But that was what we had talked about before, was sitting down with PennDOT and gaining an understanding of what exactly needs to be done so we can get that HOP. So that'll happen Friday afternoon.
Well, at the very least, if you could get temporary permission to put a concave or convex mirror up there,
Okay,
you know, the residents would be happy.
I can ask about that.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, any other questions before?
Anything
Go for
on
it.
the emergency road for Burkett Manor? Did you get anything or any clarification as to millings or what they're gonna do with that road?
Yeah, so our holdup
It
with
should have been
that,
done before the development started.
it should have been done, yeah, when the plan was approved, but it was not, so. Where we left that item, was some concern about the weight-bearing capacity of the gravel drive just topped with the millings and whether the fire truck would actually be able to make it up that hill. So we communicated with Terry Bove's engineer, the developer's engineer, and asked them to provide us with some calculations that show that that proposal would be structurally stable to support the fire truck. So I've not yet received those, but we've kind of put that ball in their court, asking them to demonstrate to us that that emergency access road meets all of the IFC codes, and I think I have that. Correct. Do you have anything to add to that?
I do not, the engineer and I have been discussing what is required of emergency access road actually. So we're not gonna end up saying.
Right.
I would suggest those conversations include him.
Yeah.
Based on our past experiences with the developer.
Yep.
They've all been in writing and they've.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, and our concerns have been conveyed to them, and we've asked them to address them before any other permanent actions taken there.
Excellent. Thank
So,
you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay, a couple other things. Meadows Landing is still tabled at the Planning Commission level. Kristen and I talked with their engineer today. They plan on coming to the Planning Commission meeting in September. So just wanted to let you know that's where that stands. It's still on the Planning Commission agenda. Bradford Run, really quickly, one of the other attorneys in Dennis's office and myself have exchanged some back and forth about putting a cost estimate together for the punch list items. Back in March, we went out, made the punch list, but we really need to put cost figures to those items so that we can substantiate where things stand. So we're working on that item with the solicitor's office. Let's see. MS4, last month I reported that we had completed all the MS4 tasks that were due before June 30th. The last thing we need to do this year is turn in the annual report, which is due in September 30th. Our office is working on that right now on behalf of the township. We'll provide it to you for review before we submit it to DEP, but that will take care of all of our annual tasks for this year. And then Farley Road, we talked about with Mr. Bull's question. The last thing to talk about, just some upcoming grant opportunities that the board should be aware of. In the fall, the county and the state open their local share account, which is the casino gambling funds distribution. So basically any infrastructure projects, any projects that benefit the public are eligible for grant applications through the county and through the state. So the county applications will be due at the end of October and the state applications will be due at the end of November. So probably good to start thinking now if there's some things we want to apply for grants this fall. We have a couple months to do it, but just wanted to put it on your radar. So unless there's any other questions, I think that's all I have to report.
Yeah, one more thing.
Sure.
We had talked about getting an intern to help with the MS4, to help Kevin with the MS4.
Yep.
And we kind of started on that a little late. Is there any way that you could help us find an intern for next summer to help us with the MS4 and getting that done? If nothing else, just going through our records and finding what you need to do your job for the stuff that hasn't been looked at for years. If you could help us with that.
Yeah, I can think about that a little bit.
And I would suggest we put a line item in the budget for that this coming year for an intern to, so we can get the MS4 back on track where it needs to be.
Sure.
You said you wanted to do more stenciling on the stormwater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that in the next couple years
Good.
going forward. We'll do that once a year to satisfy that requirement.
Okay.
And yeah, Jeff, we were pressed for time to do all the inspections this year. So Bankson just handled that on behalf of the township. But yeah, let me give some thought to that
Right.
intern question and we can
Good.
maybe.
Because we used to do some of that, but it became an issue of,
Yeah.
what do you do first?
Yeah, there may be an opportunity to save the township some dollars there. So
Thank you.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you all.
Under unfinished business, is there anything else that needs to be addressed under Bradford Run, Burkett Manor, Meadows Landing, Farley Road? If not, we'll move on to new business. Letter A, motion to approve preliminary land development application from Eric B. Wesner, Black Onyx Holdings, LLC, for Anytime Fitness located at 1200 Washington Road on parcel number 600-00-00-0049-0049-00 in the C2 General Commercial Zoning District. Do we have any representatives here for that? Okay. Did you want to get up and say?
I honestly just got an email about this morning. I don't have any information from my engineer that's been working with your engineer on it, so I'm here just in case you have questions.
Okay. Mr. Stevens, do you have anything that you wanted to add to this?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this item was presented as preliminary / final land subdivision and land development approval for the construction of a gym and Anytime Fitness facility at the 1200 Washington Road address, which is, as we talked about before, the intersection of Davis School Road and Washington Road right out here. Our office has reviewed the applications. We prepared a comment letter, which is dated July 30th, 2026. We had a number of comments, review comments for their engineers. Some of them are more significant than others. Basically, we have a short list of significant items that we would want to see addressed by the applicant and the applicant's engineer. Certainly before there's any final approval granted. This was on the agenda for planning earlier this month, and the Planning Commission passed along a recommendation for preliminary approval, contingent on satisfying all of our comments, with an understanding that they would come back through again for final approval at a later date. So that's why this is on your agenda, I believe, right, Kristen? For just preliminary approval. So, the items of note, there's a couple different businesses on that parcel. So we would want verification that they have adequate parking spaces for everything that they're proposing on that parcel. They have not yet provided a geotechnical report, which is significant considering they're moving quite a bit of earth over there. And anytime there's proposed 2-to-1 slopes, our office feels more comfortable recommending approval once that geotechnical report is in place that substantiates everything they're planning to do. So that's a significant item. They do need a shared access agreement to be able to access the main parcel with their driveways. That's an item that needs to be addressed. Our office has some concerns with the stormwater management plans. There's some revisions that we're asking for on a stormwater standpoint. And then they are planning to redo the on-lot sewage system that was there and put in a temporary type system until they can do something more permanent. So that requires approval from your sewage enforcement officer, which I do not believe has been taken care of yet. So we had a lengthy comment letter. There's a number of issues that we would want to see addressed. At this stage in the game, our office is comfortable with preliminary approval only, and that would be conditioned on satisfying everything in our letter and an understanding that these folks are going to come back, in a couple months once they've addressed everything and gain final approval.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Kristen, why did you, the planning commission, approve this with these different shortcomings?
Preliminary.
I mean, I heard his explanation. That's not good enough for me because I think, I don't like all the, how about you, TJ? How many shortcomings you got there?
There's a number. There's quite a few. Some more significant. Some of them are more standard language type things, but there are some details here that need to be figured out, certainly.
Well, just if you don't mind, I mean to put you on the spot, but what's the basis for the planning commission approving this? That's a 7-member board. What was the approval? What?
They just
Skin her teeth or something or what?
They just give preliminary, Bob.
I understand about preliminary. I understand this. I've been around a long time, but there's a lot of shortcomings here.
Do you recommend tabling it right now?
I think preliminary approval is acceptable. Certainly, there's a lot here, so I would support tabling it also.
As long as he satisfies all the defects, deficiencies, right?
Well, procedurally, I guess, from the planning commission standpoint, procedurally, they would come back through again to the whole process. For final approval. They would come back to planning for final, then they would come back to the board of supervisors for final. So preliminary is just that. It's preliminary approval. They would need.
Let me ask you again. You feel comfortable?
With preliminary only, yes, we're comfortable with that. Yes.
Is that way it's worded?
Okay.
Because your July 30th letter
it's
recommends
preliminary, it's
table.
worded,
That was
yeah.
prior to the planning commission meeting.
Correct.
As
And
long as
prior
they
to
do
response
all
from
the
them,
deficiencies.
yes.
So you recommend the board allow for preliminary approval?
Yes, we
At
would
this stage.
recommend granting preliminary approval only at this
Subject
stage.
to your terms, subject to your.
Subject to the letter.
July 30th.
Correct. Yep. And understanding that they'll come back again for final at a later date.
Okay. Thank you, TJ.
Do you have anything to add to that since you're in charge? Tell me more about this.
So to my knowledge, through our general contractor, you would be.
If you could state your name again, please.
Eric Beiswanger. So according to, from what I understand from our general contractor, a couple of items have already been addressed. There was already a preliminary drawing of the proposed parking lot for the extra spaces that was already submitted to the township. As far as the sewage, we already had spoken to, I thought everything was handled about a week or two ago with RC Cassidy and the township. So that was temporary until we could tap into Burkett Manor, which were required.
It was not handled.
What's that?
It was not handled?
No, that the sewage was handled.
No.
Yeah, because we were granted temporary access until we could tap into Burkett Manor up top, but they need to remove their coal seam first. So we were waiting on that. And then we had a couple questions that I don't know if they ever got submitted to your engineer about the grading and the geotechnical survey. So.
I have a lot of faith in you, TJ, but I'm shaky on this, because I'm not coming, it's not reaching me strong.
It doesn't sound like the two are on the same page.
Well, I wasn't prepared for today's meeting. I just got notified from Kristen today that I should be here. So.
Yeah, everything's got to go through TJ.
Yeah,
TJ,
I'm completely aware.
That way we can put him on the
TJ,
spot.
I got faith in you.
I do, I have faith in TJ, I'm concerned here.
Yep.
But the communication isn't there. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
TJ's fault.
Right.
They're responsible to stay up to date with you. When you send them that letter, they have to respond.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, yeah. Yes, I mean, certainly, like we talked about, there's quite a bit here. If you're more comfortable tabling it, I think they're not going to get final approval tonight anyway, so they're not going to be able to start the project till they have final.
Table until you two get on the same page. And so when you come up and speak, you both know, well, I thought it was taken care of. No, it was taken care of.
Yeah.
Do we have a time limitation?
Do you agree?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
some
when
things
this
will slip
was
through the
submitted.
cracks. I mean, it seems like on par for a lot of stuff that's happened, right?
Yeah,
So
let them get on the same page. So when they come up and speak, they're both know what they're talking about.
not, I thought. yeah.
Motion to table item A on the agenda?
Are you making that motion?
Yes.
I'll second it.
No, I'm putting it out there.
Oh,
I need it
you want
first.
Okay, I move the table.
Okay, second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Please, you two get on the same page for
Motion.
next month's meeting.
Was approved 5-0 to table this item. Letter B, motion to approve the use of fossil fuel for power generating ordinance. As the township solicitor has stated already, we are going to table that until the next meeting so he can look at what was submitted.
Motion to table.
Yeah, we gotta make a motion to table it, George.
I'll
Yeah.
make a motion to table it.
I'll second.
Second,
We don't have to speak.
There's no speaking in the motion to table.
motion's been made, second.
Right.
I made it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0 to table item B. Motion to appoint Jason Brown as interim chief with the stipulations pointed out in the agreement. The agreement is that on September 12th, he will receive compensation of $1,000 a month and to be prorated for each month thereafter until the appointment of chief has been finalized and hired. Motion. Second,
Second.
any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Letter D, motion approving 2026 firefighter hiring list. Oh,
For the hiring list.
oh,
Okay.
motion to approve the 2026 firefighting hiring list and appointing part-time firefighter. Do I hear a motion?
Making a motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
You want more of that?
No, now
Yeah,
it's
you
open
can-
for discussion. Yeah.
So we exhausted about 13 or 14 applicants from the previous list from 2025. In July, we posted to establish a new hiring list. We got through those applicants through June and July.
and did interviews on August 19th with our normal panel. So we ended up with several really, really great candidates on it. So I'll let Chief Brown talk a little bit more about that process given that.
We conducted 3 days of firefighter physical and written testing back in July, which you guys should have received a monthly report on. Last week, there was an extensive interview of all candidates that had passed the written and physical. Those scores were tallied, and you guys do have a recommendation for a hire for tonight's meeting.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0. Letter E, motion to approve the sale of the Ford Explorer and the Ford Escape to be listed as is. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion?
We're going to put them on municipal bid.
I'm not sure. Peter?
Well, there was discussion if you guys want to have it advertised on municipal. We have had interest from another municipality to purchase those directly. And I did speak with Slisser if he wants to comment on that about the second class township code, which does allow us to sell directly to another municipality if the board of supervisors would accept their bid or their amount that they were offering us.
The code does allow you to sell to adjoining, to another municipality, township or borough wants to purchase it. Do we have someone that has an interest?
We do have a township that was interested in it.
Do you have a price?
We do not have a price for them yet.
So
We
we're
just
really
needed,
Not ready.
no, we just needed to get permission to sell them. We do have to charge the batteries. I spoke with Paul Winters from the fire department. He came up and looked at the vehicles. We have to jump the batteries in the cars, and they have to remove some of the items from the Explorer before we could sell that out. So this is basically just a discussion to see if the board of supervisors wants to sell those vehicles, and do we want to list them on municipal bid, or we're ready for that, or do we want to sell them, or some combination?
Shouldn't this say what the fair market value they are? Like, I mean,
Mr. Chairman,
what are we
Yes.
selling?
do we have a sell price?
It doesn't cost anything to put them on municipal.
Doesn't cost us a thing.
So
we
can
put
we
them
do
on-
it at the same time?
We could put
I
them
mean,
on
it could be-
municipal bid,
yeah.
give us an idea.
And they could bid.
We can
yeah.
look over the offer from the other
Absolutely.
township and you
See if
don't
they're
have to
comparable.
take
Yeah.
what
Give them
municipal bid
first
has.
right of refusal.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Letter F, motion to deny the bid for the 2012 Ford F-550 truck on municipal bid as it did not meet the reserve, and to relist on municipal bid. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
further discussion?
It's actually a better time to do it. Closer to fall. You have the parking lot guys that don't have CDLs, and Ford 550 is perfect for them. So it's actually a better time to list it now. We're getting closer to winter.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that Kevin write the verbiage for the ad this time and go into detail as to what equipment's on it. I think our needs would be better served.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Motion to approve the advertisement of a laborer/seasonal truck driver for the Department of Public Works.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any further discussion?
We have a date
Friday.
from,
It'll be in October. I can get the date for you real quick.
It's like that first week.
Yeah, it's the first Friday in October.
Yeah.
October 2nd would be the last date.
when's
Last day.
the employee that's leaving his last day?
That's October 2nd would be his last day. Yep.
Okay.
Back to the truck. We didn't run it as long as most people do there's, you can put them on there and they can sit on there for a week before they even go active. We have nothing to lose by
agree.
letting it be on there longer.
Yeah.
The bids we received for that truck were not even close to consideration, in my opinion.
No,
Agree.
no, we've done much better.
Yep.
In the fall.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Letter H, motion to approve the submitting of an application to PennDOT for special events structural burn session to be held September 12th, 2026. This would include the temporary closing of part of Davis School Road. Does anybody want to speak on that? Chief?
Or, H is revolving around the 1200 Washington Road project. The owner has been gracious enough to allow us to do some training that we don't traditionally get to do. It'll involve live fire training. To do that safely, we have to close, or we're asking to apply for a permit to be able to close Davis School from 19 up to Munts Ridge. That allows us to be able to get access to a public fire hydrant as well as moving fire apparatus safely without having to worry about the public. There will be local traffic that will still be able to gain access. They'll have to come down from Munts Ridge if this is approved. And then as far as traffic barricades and road blocking will be coordinated between the fire department and public works.
So you're gonna have to do a detour. You should advertise that. That's the main route from Pancake to the interstate. It gets pretty busy at times.
And we'll be able to utilize social media for that as well.
Yeah, make sure it's advertised well and you have clear detours.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion or questions? Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter I, motion to amend the contract with the Director of Public Works. That is going to be tabled for tonight. Letter J, motion.
Oh, yeah, with the.
Oh,
motion to
make a
table it.
motion. Do I hear a motion to table?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0. Letter J, motion to update the 2017 Personnel Policy Manual and add a policy on the computer and cell phone to be headed by the Township Manager and Vice Chair Bull with input from the Board of the Supervisors, and once agreed to by the supervisors, sent to the solicitor for final review. This has been, Mr. Bull, did you want to talk on this? This has been overlooked for,
Yeah, well, we're using a policy manual from 2017. I believe it was 2022. Somebody went to the effort to put together a pretty decent policy, but it was never enacted. And there was a lot of effort since then to pick and choose things that they wanted to have policies on, when they should have put the effort into just doing that. Some of it's changed on our federal, so we're going to review it. We're going to get it up to date. We don't have a policy on computer and cell phone use. We have had an issue there, and just to protect the taxpayers, we're going to put that in there too. So we learned this whenever we were making sure what we wanted to do was compatible with our contracts for our public works and our fire department and our police department. And one of our contracts referenced that manual that was never passed. So we went on the hunt for that manual and Pete found it. So that's our effort to get that up where it needs to be, to protect the employees and to protect the taxpayers.
and also for new hiring, that's going to be added to the. Yeah. Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yep, we move
Yeah,
Did
we
I,
should do it. I don't think you
did I
made a
make a
motion.
motion?
I
Okay,
don't
I'm
think you
sorry.
did. So moved.
Motion second.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Public comment time. The Township Board of Supervisors allocates 3 minutes during this time for individuals who would like the opportunity to address the Board of Supervisors on any matter.
Corey Geiser.
Corey?
Sorry, hopefully I didn't steal too much of your.
Good evening, everyone. Corey Geiser on behalf of the Police Department and Fire Department. So this Sunday, what is it, August 30th, right? 1 p.m., we will be at the South Strabane Park. I'm hoping that everybody can join us. This year's event will benefit Michael Toth, right? 11-year-old suffering from leukemia. So let's have a big show out. Let's turn up for him, right? This is what it's all about. Community member, resident, we're here to support each other. So really want everybody to show up. We have food trucks, right? I believe it's All-American.
All-American Grill. Yep.
And last year we had Cooley Schoolie. I don't know who the other person is this year, but hopefully they come back. It's a good event. Chinese baskets. For the kids, we've been having tug of wars, but hopefully same thing. Maybe we'll try to get something else a little bit going on. Hopefully the weather cooperates with us. But yeah, please show up, support, spend a lot of money for Michael, right? That's all going to him. So thank you guys. Hope to see you all there on Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you. Ethan Assick.
Judy Panasic, Green Crescent Drive. I was at a meeting for the zoning hearing board and a resident brought something up. If you guys are familiar with, where's Zedeker, Davis School Road, right over the hill. And there's that road that goes down and goes up and all those farms up there had to do with that. And one of the residents brought up that all of the trucking companies were told by PennDOT that they had to make a left-hand turn and go to 519 to go to 70 when they were allowed to come in. For all these decades, they've been making a right coming through South Strabane, causing problems with 136 and going through the Windsor Highlands, Floral Hill area, Bow Street. And I just thought that's something that you guys might want to look into. If they are not supposed to be turning, I don't care if it's been 20 years, if they're not supposed to be turning that way, one of the big complaints I hear from people on Quarry Road is like hearing is it the J brake? The J brakes or whatever from the trucks coming down the hill. And you can hear that noise. That's a lot of trucks. When I was a kid, you could leave Floral Hill and walk to the Bow Mart and get a candy bar and a soda. Now I'm afraid to pull out of Floral Hill. Again, this goes back to just because it's been done wrong for so long, let's fix it. But the gentleman had a lot of really good information. I did ask him that he contact you guys. And I said, I'm pretty sure nobody's aware of this, but I found it very interesting that those trucks have been going the wrong way all this time. I would say that, I understand when you brought, maybe you guys, and I've brought this up for probably 10 years, do a weekly blast. Pete, you were talking about the thing that they send out for the county. Why not do something where the residents, it's not that expensive. They could get text messages, emails, and every week at the beginning of the week, like, here's what the meetings are this week. Here's what's going on, whether it's at Windsor or Trinity. Sorry, showing my age, Windsor. Trinity, like, these are the roads that are going to be out. Tim Solby's office used to do that. Like, you'd get a weekly thing from the state rep and here's what this week the roads that you have to. Why can't the township do it? Just simple. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be fancy. Here's what's going on. Remind everybody of the meetings. Here's a couple things all the meetings you might want to know about, like the ordinances, stuff like that. I realize, this is just technology. It's not that complicated. We should be able to do this. I want to say that I agree with, and although I don't, and I understand where you guys are coming from about not holding people accountable, but a couple of people rooting everything for everyone in the township isn't fair either. And if we don't start to hold anybody accountable, that's why things keep getting worse, because everybody knows they're going to get away with everything. So even if it costs us a little money and we get a camera up and we embarrass people, I don't know if any of you go for jobs. I mean, some of you are retired up there. The last thing anybody wants on, if they're going to apply for a job is that they've been in trouble with the South Strabane police for throwing junk in there. I mean, it's a little stupid thing, but again, why should all of us paying all this tax money be hurt because people who might not even be township residents are screwing us over? Pardon my language. And I just think that's something we need to look at. And that would go along with any time that this township knows that things have been done wrong. And I applaud what's been happening this last 6 months, 7, 8 months. Like, we're really finding out more of things that need fixed. And I mean, we have former township managers and other employees that have really taken engineering firms that have screwed us up. And it's cost us a lot of money. And again, accountability. And by the way, TJ, thank you. Thank you. And nobody in this room understands how great this guy is and how lucky we are. Anyway, thank you very much.
Rebecca McTaggart.
Okay, well, first, now I have two things. Yeah, it's definitely happening on Locust Avenue. I no longer have to use my alarm clock in the morning to get up because the trucks are doing it for me. So the work is happening on Locust Avenue. But really why I'm here is just to introduce myself. If you guys do not know me, my name is Rebecca McTaggart. And I am running for state representative in District 48. I am not here to campaign. I am here to tell you that if you see a bunch of purple shirts running around and people knocking on your door, it's me and my crew. I'm not selling windows or siding. It's just us. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so my name is Kathleen Smith. I live at 1920 East Coast Street, District 1 on Big Hill, across down after Zetterker Station. So, guys, thank you for all your volunteer time. First of all, nobody does volunteer time. So let's think about something under new business. Okay, guys, you have 10 motions. And all the motions are really easy to accept because they involve, like, yes, our fire company's amazing. They're amazing. Our police department's amazing. They all help us. But there's one motion. Look at your notes. It's B. It's B. Motion to approve fossil fuel for power generation. That affects not just you hiring somebody, not selling a 16-year-old truck. Seriously, I've sold so many trucks in my life. It involves everybody that lives in this community. Seriously, a power generation plant? Really? I grew up, my dad was in charge of the power company called Penelec. So you're talking to a woman that's old, but I know about power. This is a big deal, and I appreciate that you tabled it. It's not in the same boat as labor and seasonal truck driver, right? And so I appreciate that you let me come up tonight, but having approval of a fossil fuel power generation ordinance is not the same thing as a 2012 truck. Really? I mean, come on. That could be on eBay. Really?
I don't understand what you're getting at.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's all I want to say. But we have to think forward. How does this affect everybody? It's not a sidewalk. Like I appreciate all the knowledge that's around me. It's not a sidewalk. It's not a road, but a power generation plant is a big deal.
And it was
Thank
tabled. You know that.
And I appreciate that so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Diane Ecker on Tara Drive. In hearing tonight, people were talking about suggested rezonings of things, and then TJ mentioned some money that's available. And I was just wondering where we were with a comprehensive plan.
So we will be making an official application next month for it, but it won't be, the comprehensive plan will not start until next year.
Okay, but we are keeping that on the
Yes,
horizon.
right.
It's
It
on
will
the
not
radar.
start till next year because we'll get funding. We'll have to allocate money in the budget for next year. And then we'll be able to, RFP for, proposals to do the comprehensive plan. We'll have to have a series of meetings and it will take some time. It will not be a very short process. So, I mean, I know there were some people in here that were involved the last time that it went through, and it's a long process. So, yep.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Yep. Oh, go ahead. Sure.
I'm glad that it was tabled for the, what's it called, 24/7 gym that they want to open up on Washington Road. I don't know if anybody knows what that means. They truly mean 24/7. So that means people are going to be working out supposedly at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know about you, but that sounds to me like that's going to be a problem for the township. There's going to be, how many police are going to be down there to patrol that? It's going to be dangerous. I don't know what women would want to go in there and work out at 2 o'clock in the morning. And now he's asking for a traffic impact fee reduction or for it to be waived. Are you kidding me? I hope that you really take some serious thought into not allowing him to do that. If it's 33,000, then it's 33,000. That's what the rules are. Then don't build it here if you're not happy with that, because you're going to be putting more money than that to have police officers patrolling that, because that is dangerous. That place is already dark down there. All right, that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Anybody else that didn't sign up that wants to say anything? Okay, make a motion to adjourn.
No, supervisor comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, supervisor comment time. I'm sorry, Zach. Township supervisors may address any items. Any supervisors that want to address any items?
Yes, I have one.
Zach. Yeah.
All right, so my comment is just to inform the township of the current contracts that have put South Strabane in a financial situation. So this isn't particular to any person, but this is just the top and center because of the opening. But the South Strabane 25 Fire Chief Emergency Service Agreement allowed for the chief to bank a maximum of 960 hours of PTO. So as of the chief's last day, he will have approximately 700 hours of PTO accumulated.
It's a personnel item.
No, this is my comment. It's not directed. No, this is actually not directed to the chief. This is nothing to do with the chief. It's his fault.
Yeah.
This is actually a kudos to the chief. So I'm getting to it. So it is accurate as of, yes, there's 3 categories that the residents have to pay out on. So this contract should be deeply concerning to everyone as it fails to represent the majority of taxpayers in their PTO standards. For the majority, if not all the households in South Strabane, if you add up your household PTO time, they'd still be nowhere near this outrageous number. Unfortunately, due to past boards' lack of knowledge and foresight, we owe a massive payout to the chief. This occurred due to having the wrong people compose the contract without legal oversight and or just plain old common sense. As I've always said, it's easy to spend other people's money. This will put the financial burden on the township's budget that was already strained. According to Cipher and Cipher in 22 are
Obligation.
no, the post-employment benefits, it's note 15 and 16. In 22, it was 220,000. In 23, it was 228,000. In 24, it was 245,000. And then 25 is 271,000. It has gone up $51,000 from 22 to 25. So I just want to let everybody know that these compensation packages are not the standard of any household. Nobody gets that type of time that you can bank 960 hours of PTO. There's 2,080 working hours in a year. You're very close to a half a year. That's my comment.
Any other supervisor comments?
Yeah. Going back to a comment Ms. Panasic made at the beginning of the meeting. we have faced a lot of ridicule and criticism, this board, some of us on the board, for making improvements and changes to people we deal with. Engineer comes to mind. We spent a lot of time tonight at this meeting talking about screw ups of the past. And this township has spent one hell of a lot of money fixing the mistakes. And they go back many years. This didn't start, you can't blame all of this on the previous board. This goes back a long way. And if you don't get it right when you get it, you pay for it in the long run. And, you know, we have these projects that have gone on all these years. Some of it, it's even difficult to find the records on. So I think that this board has worked hard to get the level up of the quality of people that the township deals with to do work for the township. And I mainly refer to the engineer, you know, and that's where the township's really fallen down in the past. The issues that these planned residential developments are just, you know, and you've heard me say it in the past, I feel sorry for Meadows Landing because we know all the games and we've got somebody new looking at everything. And I don't think he's made a mistake yet. So thank you again. TJ.
Thank you. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't say anything, but I'm going to. Hiring before winter hits, Public Works, to me, is just as important as anything else on here. Because when it snows, they protect our police, they protect our fire protection, and they protect our residents to get to work, to get to the store. To say it's not important kind of upsets me. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.